This episode of the Bottle Rocket podcast is brought to you by GamerClips.tv. Play, share and watch video game frags and clips with hundreds more added every day. Hit the link in the comments section to check them out. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Bottle Rocket podcast with me, Chris.
Me, Ben.
Me, the month.
So the iPhone came out this week.
Sweet.
iPhone 6.
Don't know if you guys noticed.
Three versions of it, was there? Small,
Yeah,
medium, and large.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I recently saw someone at work has recently bought one, and they put my old iPhone 5 next to it. It literally is about that much bigger. It is absolutely massive. Like,
yeah, they're
massive.
towing the line with screen size now, aren't they?
Joke.
Yeah. Well, there's the big argument, isn't there, with sort of the size and the functionality of the handset versus the quality and the clarity of the screens. Obviously, the bigger the handset, the more sort of tech you can get in there, the better the screen quality. So, I think Apple have probably seen that a lot of their competition don't really care too much about the size, so they've just started following suit now.
Well, look at the Samsung Note. The Galaxy Note. It's literally the size of Africa. It's like it's more like a PDA than a phone.
Yeah, so I mean, when do these phones start becoming less mobile phones, more tablets?
Tablets with phone capabilities.
Because that seems to be what's happening. Tablets are getting smaller and phones are getting bigger.
Yeah, that's true. I recently had acquired an Amazon Kindle Fire HD, and I'm pretty sure that the Samsung Galaxy Note or whatever, the thing that's meant to be between a phone and a tablet, is bigger. So, yeah, I don't know what motivates the companies to make them so big, but obviously for Apple it's a winning formula because they sold 10 million iPhone 6s in 3 days.
That's pretty damn crazy. Did you see that video of the guy that got his? He was like the first one in the queue to buy it.
The guy in Australia.
Unboxed it and dropped it.
No way.
Thing is, though, we all know that the iPhone is literally in the lid of the box. Because obviously we've all, Ben's had an iPhone, I've had an iPhone. And when you take the box off, they always slide out.
Yeah.
So this guy's there in the middle of the street.
You can't see it, you know it's coming.
The boxes are designed pretty sleek, you know.
Yeah.
They're not like stuffed full of sort of bubble foam or anything like that to protect the phone. You know, you pretty much got a tiny box and a phone inside, and that's it.
Yeah. So this reporter, she goes up to this guy, and she's like, yeah. So you've got the new iPhone 6. You know, let's have a look. And he starts taking the box off, and it just slides out from underneath, and just everyone's like, oh.
Was that the iPhone 6 Plus as well, or just the 6?
I don't know which model it was.
6 Plus, like €1,000, pounds, whatever, worth of phone on the floor.
You would be absolutely. You'd be so gutted, wouldn't you?
I think I'd just cry. Let you cry.
So I mean, how many units did that ship?
10. Well, I don't know how many it shipped, but they sold 10 million in 3 days.
And
I suppose we've got to factor in that some of those sales probably are accredited to mobile contracts. So it might not be direct, straight through money in the bank, but that's still a hefty amount, and that was like 3 days after it went on sale.
So I mean, just by comparison, I mean, how long did it take PlayStation 4 to hit that?
About 9 months. So a fair gulf.
Nice.
That's
But it's cheaper than the iPhone 6, we shall see.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
A considerably amount cheaper.
Yeah.
But I suppose what we've got to consider is these are effectively, although not directly, they are competing devices, aren't they? You know, if we go back to our sort of riff on mobile versus console gaming, you know, one of the biggest mobile platforms is the iPhone. And this thing can shift 10 million units in 3 days. So
Yeah.
what kind of a future does that hold for console gaming if that's the case?
Crushed and destroyed
I
on the
suppose,
floor
but,
under
probably
Apple's boot.
probably about 9 million of those sales are all from like hardcore selfie takers.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So we're going to see like 9 million more selfies a day, because that's all we need.
And we're going to get slow-mo videos because of the new slow-mo feature they've slipped in.
Oh yeah.
Slow-mo selfie, yeah.
Slow-mo selfie.
It's just
New trending you. Hashtag slow-mo selfie.
give it to an Apple or by the company that have made Instagram. So
And they're by that picture program as well. What's it called?
I don't know.
Oh my god. I'll remember it. Hang on. I'll remember it.
Snapchat.
Snapchat, that's the one.
See how I can read your mind.
Apple to buy Snapchat apps and then just own mobile internet forever. You own selfie, Snapchat, Instagram.
You name it.
Excellent.
There'll be no competition left in the mobile industry soon.
Apple will own it all.
Oh, Sony definitely won't be in it. Ha ha ha! I've got to reflect on the whole really bad performance of the Sony phones, and all I can say is I don't feel sorry for them, because this April I got on contract the Xperia Z1 Compact, which had only just come out. Then the World Cup came in June, and the Xperia Z2 came out, and literally this month the Xperia Z3 came out in tablet, compact, and sort of mid-size as well. It's ever likely that they've made the £1.5 billion loss in a year.
Nice.
They haven't got a stable product on the market. They just keep releasing a flipping upgrade every 3 months. What's the point in that?
Yeah, I mean, I got the Xperia. I had the Xperia Play before it as well. I've always since smartphones started coming out, I've always had Sony phones, because I just love the way they perform and the way they look, and I prefer the Android market over the App Store.
Yeah.
It just suits me better. But no, I mean, I do like the phones. It's just the marketing strategy doesn't seem to be that hot on, and like you say, it's not surprising that they've posted a loss.
Yeah, you literally cannot release three or four versions of the same phone, but the new model within 6 months of releasing your newest version. Anyway, Apple have got a pretty solid formula, one per year. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that the new iPhone gets announced around August time, and it gets released a month later in September, if not weeks later.
Yeah, and everybody's got to have it.
Yeah, exactly.
New, we must buy it.
Sony have just completely messed up, I think there. But hopefully that won't affect the console business too much.
No, I think it's pretty safe.
Well, they've increased the projected profits for the year for the consoles portion of the business, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
So that's obviously a bonus for us who own PlayStation 4.
Definitely.
No, we're not just going to get left in the lurch.
Definitely an iPhone, yeah.
Well, one thing I will say about the Z3, which has just come out, is they've put the remote play function onto the phone, where you just connect a PS4 DualShock 4 to the phone, and you can do remote play like with a Vita.
Oh, that's smart. Speaking of the Vita, actually, I was using the remote play function with Destiny the other day, and I'm really surprised at how well that works.
Yeah, it's pretty intuitive. The one thing that I was a bit annoyed by is that unless you've sort of read about it on the internet, there was no clear way of knowing what the controls were. Because I sifted through the menus and I couldn't see anything.
Yeah. I mean, I'd check that out beforehand, to be honest. But yeah, it's pretty awkward. But no, I mean, as far as the actual playing the game on my mobile device, it was fantastic. And providing you've got a stable internet connection somewhere, you can effectively play your PS4 from anywhere.
Oh yeah, yeah. They don't recommend it not being on the same network, but if you've got like, if you lived in Japan where the standard internet speed like 10 gigabytes a second, then you pretty much play it on the bus.
Nice.
So,
Actually, I remember when I had the Xperia Play, it had the system link on that for the PS3, and I was like, no way, as if I can play my PS3 from elsewhere. So I went off to my mum and dad's house and got on the internet there, booted my PS3 up from home. I was like, yeah, I'm using my PlayStation from like 20 miles away.
yeah.
And then I booted a game up, and it was like, your device does not support this game.
Yeah.
So, oh, great! So you just tempt me with the idea of it, and then shoot me down.
Teasing.
But now this PS4 link, it's providing you've got a solid internet connection. It's you can access it from anywhere. It's really good.
It is epic. I've played Destiny a few times using the remote play function. It just helps when you're farming for goods and wares.
It helps when you're trying to get game time away from your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You watch your soaps. I'll just get the Vita out.
I've also the Vita controls are quite cramped, which I didn't particularly enjoy. I mean, I haven't got.
Yeah, well, when you've got
particularly
massive
big
hands like you.
I don't think I have. I've got like big palms but sausage fingers.
Shovel hands.
But no, I probably will use the Vita remote play more often to mop up a few bounties on Destiny.
Yeah. Speaking of Destiny, I'm going to try and I'm going to try and sort of stay away from Destiny after this podcast, just so we're not talking about it every single time we get together on here.
Yeah, that's true.
But apparently there's a video where some guys are clearing the first raid in 37 minutes.
Yeah. This is the same raid, by the way, that the first raid group took the best part of 11 hours to complete. That's I don't know if it's the same group, but the group who originally did it were called Prime Guard. As far as I'm aware, they haven't done it in 37 minutes.
And that's been out a week, right? That raid?
Yes, a week on Tuesday.
And people are just smashing it already. It's crazy.
Is that a good thing? Saying that the community play the game are really sick, or is that bad that Destiny have undertuned the raid to make it too easy?
Well, you don't know, just because of the sort of the range of gamers. I mean, how do you make that content accessible to people who aren't as good as those guys and who haven't got as much time as those guys, whilst at the same time making it a challenge for them? I suppose you've got to do that with different difficulty settings.
Oh, well, I suppose nothing's ever going to be a challenge if you've already done it once. If they've literally done it a few times and then found the quickest way to do it, then I don't know, is it going to be that easy to do it in 37 minutes because they found some uber sick strategy that
Yeah, I suppose.
They can cut corners even there? Or is it, have they bugged the boss? Or have they literally walked in and done something and he's just fallen over backwards and died?
I mean, I've not watched anything on the raid of Destiny because I'm obviously waiting until we are ready to do it ourselves. I don't want to spoil it for myself. But 37 minutes, I mean, I've got a feeling we're going to be more like 37 hours.
Yeah. I mean, they're full of tactics, different tactics for each boss fight. It's very, it's very similar to an MMO.
Yeah. But then, you can sort of question, are these guys sort of the part of the elite gaming bunch that are the kind of pedigree players that reach the world's firsts for all games like WoW or StarCraft or whatever.
That 0.5%.
Yeah, exactly. The top tier gamers, or otherwise known as the non-lifers.
There's a clan called No Life out there.
Yeah, but are they?
Creparian, he's one of the theory crafters in the guild No Life.
Yeah.
Because these elite players as well. Obviously, a lot of them just sort of do it for the for the name, world's first or world's fastest, or
Yeah.
however it gets spun out. But I think we touched on it a while ago. With esports and things, there's a lot of money to be made in gaming. And if these guys have spent as much time sort of perhaps honing their talents in games where they could make money, rather than being the world's first to do everything, or maybe they do both.
Well, I mean, how many hits has that YouTube video had?
I don't know.
I imagine before long that'll have made some money for him.
Going about the Destiny video.
Mm.
I'll be at YouTube now.
37 minutes, Vault of Glass clear, or something like that. But yeah, there's plenty of money to be made in that respect.
Money, money, money.
47-minute 31 there.
Yeah, there's probably a little bit of warm up before.
Yeah. Yeah.
When they say, "Hey guys, so we're just gonna go and blitz for Destiny rating 37 minutes."
Yeah, we can do it 10 minutes faster.
Bastards! You bastards!
But yeah.
Sweet, bro. Where is it? There it is. Found it.
Got it.
Got it.
How many views?
Just letting YouTube up now. 57,000 so far.
My God.
Not a lot.
Yeah, but that's gonna grow as more people.
Well, it's now on GameSpot on the front page.
Oh, there you go. I'll get about 2 million off that.
I think as well. With it might be something, like we don't necessarily want to watch it to spoil it for ourselves. That might be the case with a lot of other people as well.
I suppose, but at the same time, you've got to think tactics, because
True.
you need to, if you want to do it quick, rather than work on it yourself, it's easier just to go online and
What's your guide?
get a guide and say, all right, so I do that there and that there and that there. For easy win.
I can see that. I don't know. I think I'm so adamant on not spoiling it for myself. I'd rather spend the extra time. But if you want to watch it, then go ahead. And then when we get on it and actually do it, you can be like, oh, I think we have to go here.
Already watched it, bro.
You already ruined it for him. Already ruined it.
That's if obviously that's if we all get to the required level. Mansell
What?
sitting there. Maybe someday, someday this year we might get to the required level.
30th, 11th, you're never going to see me ever again. Good fact.
Yeah, we touched on that last week as well.
Good.
We like touching things.
Yeah.
So what about Tokyo Game Show? I don't suppose you caught much of that. It's a big one, but it's a weird one, I think, because it's so Japan-centric. You kind of know what the big hitters are going to be.
Yeah, it's another trailer fest.
Yeah.
It's like, look at what you're going to have in 6 months' time, 12 months' time, 18 months' time.
Where's the gameplay? Where's the gameplay?
There was a bit of gameplay on show. I watched the Final Fantasy 15 footage, and that sort of spiked my interest.
It looks really bizarre, I think.
It looks very
does
different.
It does not fit into like any sort of Final Fantasy imagination that I might have had.
Yeah, I've been I've been a massive Final Fantasy fan since 7. I remember I went around to a friend of mine's house and he was like, I had this game for Christmas, and I got killed by the first boss. Do you want to have a look at it? So I was like, yeah, fire it up. And then just didn't stop playing it from then.
Yeah.
We used to go around after school. I'd take my memory card around and we'd carry on with the story and play through it. And since then, I've loved Final Fantasy. Played through 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 2, a bit of 11. 12 wasn't so great, and then the 13 trilogy just sort of killed it off for me.
Yeah.
it sort of it tried to go in a new direction and just didn't. It sort of sacrificed story and content for looks. I mean, in fairness, it ran beautiful on the PS3. It looked amazing, but the gameplay was just it was boring, and the story wasn't really. It never really grabbed you at any point. So it was a bit of a downer for me. The 13 trilogy.
Well, 13 I thought was a bit of a mess anyway, because it was like the first multi-platform release and whatever, but they were meant to have Final Fantasy Versus 13, which was PlayStation 3 exclusive, and it was a different type of gameplay, but it was related to the same story.
There was supposed to be
went out the window.
A couple, and I can't actually remember how it was supposed to be. I don't know if it was that or the next one. Was it Final Fantasy Agito?
I heard about that one. Yeah,
I can't remember that well off the top of my head, but there was supposed to be a whole host of games on different platforms coming out, and it just never came together.
Never materialised.
But I've got a feeling that was originally to do with the next Final Fantasy, but I don't know. I could be wrong. If anybody could help us out in the comments to that one, it'd be much appreciated. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I watched from TGS, because I mean everything else was just potential eye candy.
I watched a little bit of the Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain stuff, because I wouldn't say I'm a die-hard fan of the Metal Gear series, but I do enjoy the games. And there was a bit of a thing, because there was something on the internet about a Metal Gear Solid 2014 collection. People thought they were re-releasing all the games again for the next gen, but it's actually a clothing range that's coming out as well.
Oh, right.
So awesome.
Nice.
But yeah, it is a sick looking white PS4 bundle coming with Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain.
I need a white one now. Stop putting any ideas in my head.
So
I'm looking at my Batman one, thinking it's not superior enough. It needs to be white.
Hey man, you made the decision, bro.
Hey.
So yeah. I mean, you've got that thing with TGS, though. It's never going to be as big as E3. That's sort of the main. I suppose that we're talking Western, aren't we? Western versus East.
Yeah, I suppose it's not going to be as big for us, but I think it was the audience over there absolutely love it.
Yeah. I don't know if have any of you guys been following Bloodborne on PS4?
No. I saw the early sort of preview trailers and stuff like that, but nothing since then.
Like a spiritual successor to the Demon's Souls game that came out on PlayStation 3. I mean, obviously you had Dark Souls, which was made by From Software as well. But this is sort of the spiritual successor to Demon's Souls, because it had a little bit of a different feeling to it. But it's basically like rock hard gameplay in a horror setting. We've got a release date of February. It looks pretty cool, man.
What platform's that on?
Bloodborne's exclusive to PlayStation 4. I think it's because Sony are the publisher for the game.
Oh, right, yeah, makes sense.
So,
Makes perfect sense, man.
Speaking of horror, I did see the trailer for Silent Hills.
Oh god, that looks horrible.
You already tried the demo?
In a good way?
No, I've seen the sort of reaction videos for the trailer, and
I've watched all the demos, not played all of them on YouTube, and it don't know. It doesn't seem that scary, to be fair.
But they never are when you're watching a video of it. It's when you're sitting in a dark room on your own and you're playing it that you sort of get taken into the game. Then it's like
Outlast as well. I literally can't myself.
It's like have you played Slenderman?
Yes.
Watching videos of that, it's like that's just funny. But then you start playing it yourself, and you're in control. You knock the lights off in your room, and you're sitting there playing away. And that's when it starts getting scary. I mean, I remember years ago now. Was it PS1 or PS2? Silent Hill 2. I think it was PS1. But I remember there was like four of us. I was playing the game. There was like four of us huddled around like a sort of 13-inch screen in this dark bedroom playing through it, and it was absolutely terrifying. Looking back on it now, it's a joke, but at the time, because you're in there and you're in the zone, I think that's where the fear factor comes from.
Yeah, you have to. I think you have to be playing the game with these particular things in mind. Like Matt's just mentioned Outlast. You watch a video of Outlast, you think, yeah, that looks pretty cool, but in actual fact, it's horrific to play. I think the worst part about it is you're basically defenseless. You can't defend yourself in any way. You just run around.
You have to let you run away from a guy trying to wash your brains in.
You just run around, and the only thing you've got is a camera. And, when the batteries run out, you run out of light and whatnot. You can't defend yourself against these crazed loons that come in after you. That's the most horrible part, I think. Powerlessness.
More in the horror genre, Alien Isolation.
Yeah, babe.
I'm looking forward to playing that. That seems to me to be the first true Alien game.
Yeah, like as a pure experience based on how we were actually introduced
based
to
on
Alien.
the movies. Yeah. Like the others have been like, yeah, here's a gun, now just go kill hundreds of them.
Yeah. There wasn't. There's not much of a fear factor. They were just sort of fodder, really.
So yeah, looking forward to that one as well.
It does look quite scary.
My bank account isn't looking forward to all these games that I'm looking forward to, though. I will say that.
Oh wow.
It's like some overtime at work is required.
Well, just pick up what you can. That's my sort of ethos at the minute. I'm not rich. I'm just loving the games that I've got. Got GTA 5 coming out as well soon, re-released. Can't wait for that one.
Good.
The only game I'm probably going to double dip on.
I'm pretty gutted that it's going to take so long to come out on PC though.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hit for the PC community, that is. And I think, if I'm honest with you, that's probably the one that people are most looking forward to. I mean, even
because of the fact that you can mod GTA games so extensively.
Exactly, mods. I mean, I've not got a gaming PC, and I will be picking it up on PS4 for the sort of, vanilla modifications that Rockstar have made. But the PC version, when it gets going, it's going to be sick.
Yeah, I can remember having San Andreas and having like, you got your Veyrons on there and stuff. It just did not look cool in the slightest. But if you had a Veyron in GTA, man, how cool do you want to be? Oh, good. And now they just put it in stock. It's called the Viper or something.
God knows.
So,
God knows what it's called.
God knows. God only knows, but F that one. Well, I'm a PS3 save anyway.
Yeah, so I think, looking at the time, we better wrap it up there.
Damn.
For this week.
Wrap it up like a present.
Like a present.
Day.
We really do chat crap for quite a while, don't we?
Well, time flies when you're... ...
Chatting crap.
We're just avid gamers, man. Come on.
As usual, check out the YouTube at youtube.com/BottleRocketUK.
Rock.
Facebook, Twitter, all the like. Grab us on there.
I think you should drop in the Destiny clan as well if anybody...
Yeah, if there's any 28s that want to carry us through the game, then drop in the Destiny clan.
Yeah, carry
search for B-Rock.
I've got my plan in place.
So bye.
So until next week, I've been Chris.
I've been Ben.
I've been the man.
Catch you next time.
Ladies.
Go.